Would a Wes Watson trial be Darrell Brooks Jr. all over again? Interesting question. Let's talk about it right now. Here at Strength Addicts on all social media platforms. Powered by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark with IML. Visit ironmaglabs.com today. Also, guys, speaking of Iron Mag, I've written 883 articles for ironmagazine.com since, I think, 2017 or so. That's amazing. And it's really good money, too. Really good money, too. And I get to write whatever I want. That's awesome. All right, guys. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Wes Watson. Could you imagine if Wes Watson represented himself? I mean, what a train wreck that would be. But then there's the whole Darrell Brooks Jr. thing. Now, if you're not familiar with Darrell Brooks Jr., he's a short man like Wes. He's black, though. Wes is not. And he was a bum his whole life, never paid child support, and then did a horrendous thing, a horrendous crime that, resulted in the deaths of 6 people and the horrible injuries of upwards of 80, and just ruined the whole community. Now, Wes obviously didn't do any of those things. Wes just beat up a mentally challenged man at Elevation Fitness in Miami, Florida. Him, Dumb Nick, Mr. Fuji, and some others. But at the same time, though, even though both of these men are short and different races and committed different crimes, they're both equally stupid. That's the common denominator there. And so, could you imagine? Because we saw a little bit of this at the bond hearing, where Wes tried to speak up, and his lawyer could barely control him. Go back in your mind and see if you can remember that. I don't use other people's content, so I can't do that for you. I can't show it to you here. Just go back in your mind and think about it. Did you already think about it? I already thought about it. The point is that both of these guys are pretty stupid. And if he couldn't stay quiet for a bond hearing where, could you imagine if he just like, look, this lawyer here, he's a loser. Look at his arms. He didn't even have bicep peaks. Look at his stomach. He's got a stomach. He's got he doesn't have ripped abs. His nipples aren't hard all the time like mine and my friends are. What is up with that stomach? And those chicken legs. You don't have any legs, man. When's the last time you squatted? When's the last time anyways, when's the last time you trained legs, man? This is a beta male. And he could be talking to freaking Mike O'Hearn, because to his mind, it's never enough. Even if you're physically jacked like Mike, it's still not enough. So the point of the matter is that what if he pulled that talk show crap where he was like basically tearing people down because of their outward appearance and tearing down any kind of talent or capabilities they could have? Maybe he just says, Your Honor, I can't have a guy that looks like this representing me. He's not alpha enough. That's why the guy's got to get a big retainer up front and jot down all the pain and suffering, not literally, but all the anguish and the extra work that he had to do in research work and damage control. Mark all those times down, man, and make sure you get it out of that retainer, because Wes is more than likely going to fire you because Wes is stupid. In any event, I just see so many similarities between Darrell Brooks Jr. and Wes Watson. Totally different crimes, but equally stupid, and both short. I believe that Darrell Brooks Jr. might actually tower over Wes a little bit, because I believe he's 5'8.5", and a half an inch on a small man is huge. That's massive. That is massive. So in any event, I think that anybody, you've heard this all the time. I'm sure you have. If you represent yourself, you have a fool as a client. I mean, everybody's heard that, and top lawyers are told that. I mean, because it's like, if you're a barber, you're not going to cut your own hair, are you? I mean, unless you put like a bowl there and just cut around it. I mean, if you're a massage therapist, and I'm talking about massages on the up and up, not with the happy ending. If you're a massage therapist, you will go to another massage therapist at some point and get yourself a massage so that you don't fall to pieces, because the body is a temple, is it not? And so the reality of the matter is that if you are a lawyer, I don't care how good of a lawyer you are, if you're accused or if you're facing some charges or whatever, and you represent yourself, I mean, in my opinion, that's not about being good. That's just about being foolish. Just as the old saying goes, if you represent yourself, you have a fool as a client. Now that's lawyers, though. But then you're talking about like Wes Watson, or Darrell Brooks Jr. I mean, even Wade Wilson, who's a complete imbecile, he didn't represent himself. I mean, he's stupid, but he's not that stupid. You know what I mean? He tattooed his face, and he's gonna, they're gonna shoot him up full of, that sayonara cocktail. But the point is he didn't even represent himself. Who else didn't represent himself? I don't know. Well, OJ didn't represent himself. I mean, you just can't represent yourself. That's just stupid, especially when the taxpayers have no choice but to foot you with a full legal defense all on our backs, and you still say no. I mean, but that's what you call stupidity. And Darrell Brooks Jr. several times would say, "Oh, I'm not pro se. I'm pro whatever, per pep or whatever he said." I don't know what the hell he said. I'm a lawyer. I don't even know what he said. And maybe it had some sort of like value. I don't know. But the judge was like, "Look, I don't care if you're calling it a pro pay, potpourri, pobo sandwich, whatever you're calling it. You said you didn't want a lawyer. Now you don't have a lawyer." But he tried to backtrack, and he wasn't doing it merely for grounds for an appeal. He was doing it because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I think that very early on, he regretted that decision. And there's nothing to suggest that Wes Watson is going to represent himself except for the fact that he's stupid. And so, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't see any situation. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure that, if this case wasn't as high profile as it was, they could have found something like jaywalking or public intox or something, not felony assault and battery. But because it's such a big story, they can't. They just can't. So I can't think of a situation where Wes gets off without doing some jail time. Maybe not 15 years, maybe not 3 to 5, maybe not even a year. Maybe all he has to do is 180 days. He can't do 180 days. He won't, in 180 days, his YouTube, whatever it was, is gone. It'll be gone in 10 days. But 180 days, forget it. You know how, 180 days might as well be 10 years. Yeah, for YouTube and all that. Your channel dies for 180 days, for 6 months basically. You're so out of the algorithm. You could come back with Louis Marco, and Furious Pete, and you still wouldn't get the numbers because the algorithm will hate your channel basically. You can't go dormant for 6 months. But the point is that even no matter how great of a deal his lawyer gets him, if it involves any kind of jail time, I could see Wes Watson saying, "You know what? It was self-defense. It was self-defense, clear as day." What else would he keep saying? That's what's up? No. What else? He was saying something super annoying. Straight up. So he basically would say, "Listen, it was self-defense, clear as day. Straight up. I did 10 years. Straight up. I'm no pussy, straight up. It was self-defense, straight up. And that would be kind of like and he would lose. But it would be so funny to watch, Wes Watson, with like the Law and Order SVU, not suggesting that this is a sex crime, but I just always liked SVU more than the other one. So it would be that music in the background and Wes Watson, walking into prison. Well, actually, they'd probably put him in prison by that point. Although, you know what? Because he is out on bond, he would never be in the orange jumpsuit. So it wouldn't be quite as bad as the Darrell Brooks thing, unless he got himself arrested somehow. But I mean, it would still be cool because, he'd roll up, and he'd have to do that whole perp walk every single day going into court. And each day the paparazzi would get bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? That might be entertaining. I mean, that could be something, I think. I mean, they're both really stupid. So, I mean, if Wes ever represented himself, I think it would be pretty hilarious. What do you think? I mean, this is also about you, What do you think? Come on. Not all at once.